Dave.
What I'm doing, I'm checking my favourite streaming service to see if they've got a show that I like watching. But I'm using a VPN, and I'm saying I'm from another country. I'm using NordVPN, of course.
I use NordVPN as well.
Yeah, NordVPN. Funnily enough, they're doing a back-to-school sale at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And for every 2 years you buy of NordVPN, you get 4 months free on top of it.
Why wouldn't you use that? 24/7 customer support.
Yep.
30-day money-back guarantee.
Yep. How do people do that? Do they just go to nordvpn.com/blokes? Anyway, it is more than just a VPN. They don't track or share what you do online, so it's extremely privacy orientated.
That's good to know for you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I pretend not to have social media, because it's all cloak and dagger sort of stuff, if you know what I mean. Sure. Or van and
Magic
basement sort of stuff. Your traffic is always protected with a robust encryption. So good luck decoding that and seeing all the stuff that's being watched. You can turn on the kill switch to make sure your data is also never exposed. So if you want to get that deal, all you have to do is go to nordvpn.com/blokes. You pay for 2 years, you get 4 months for free. 30-day money-back guarantee as well if you're not happy with it.
Excellent.
You can't go wrong, can you?
Back to school.
So go and get yourself some NordVPN, guys, and there you go. Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Jason Mraz.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Dan.
Together we are the Office Blokes.
Yeah. Is it Jason Mraz or Jason Mraz?
It's however you want to pronounce it. I'm not really fussy, to be honest. Just whatever rolls off the tongue. Yeah. J-Maz, J-Mraz, Jam-Raz, as some people call me, you know.
Just you should have followed that with I'm yours instead of I'm Office Bloke Mike. You missed it. God, waste of time.
Never mind.
We've not done Popo Medic for absolutely ages. And we did do, was it a UFC fighter robbed a couple of banks?
Did we?
There was someone, wasn't we, like...
Was it not like a Marine or something? Or
was it
I thought it was a Marine or something like that.
It might have been a Marine then.
I think it was an Army Ranger, actually.
Or Ranger, yeah.
Yeah, it was an Army Ranger.
This military guy, anyway.
This one's an Army Ranger, so...
Oh, we've seen it then.
No. It's,
I bet we have.
I've just seen it on there. That's why it's
nice one. I think it was a Marine, though. You're right. Yeah. So I thought we'd just queue up another. It's been ages, hasn't it?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Definitely. So Army Ranger robs bank in 2 minutes 21 seconds. It's not bad.
Monday, August 7th, 2006, 5:15 p.m. The most sophisticated bank robbery in Washington state history. A 4-man team led by 2 special operators swept a Bank of America in Tacoma, Washington. One FBI agent would later describe the event as executed with elite military-style precision and planning. They carried enough weaponry, according to prosecutors, to create a bloodbath in the streets of Tacoma. Luke Elliott Summer was born on June 6, 1986 in Peachland, British Columbia. He later joined the Army on June 6, 2003. After completing 1-station unit training, Summer attended and completed airborne school at Fort Benning before attending the infamous Ranger Indoctrination Program, now known as RASP. Summer was sent to the 2nd Battalion's 75th Ranger Regiment. Summer was at the unit for less than 3 weeks before he was shipped to Baghdad, Iraq, where he remained until September 2004. After returning from Iraq, Summer conducted Ranger Convalescent Skill Training, which includes hot wiring vehicles, operating heavy machines, and basic EMT courses. After spending 6 months stateside, Summer was again deployed, but this time to Afghanistan. When Summer returned from Afghanistan in September 2005, he was sent to Ranger School, a 61-day leadership program where young soldiers are pushed to their absolute limits.
Get up there! Hurry up! Ranger, what is wrong with you?
Summer spent nearly 7 months completing the highly prestigious military leadership school, and although he restarted the school twice, Summer managed to complete the school on April 7, 2006, earning his TAP. While waiting for his next deployment, Summer and his Ranger buddies in Barracks Building 3475 spun fantasies late into the night about applying their training to American civilian settings. Summer kept pushing these ideas further and further until the next thing anyone knew, he and a few other Rangers were pulling reconnaissance on the nearby Chips Casino. Summer began sharing this fantasy with friends back in Canada, such as 20-year-old Tigra Robertson, a member of the Canadian Military Reserves, and 18-year-old Nathan Dunmall, a civilian. Summer spelled out the plan to Robertson via text message. In a July 30th, 2006 exchange, Summer wrote, "We're going to hit this casino, and we have a solid plan. We have a driver, 2 Rangers, and you 2. So I hope you're ready to fucking rock and roll." Robertson replied, "Fuck yeah." Summer replied, "Chance it might go North Hollywood, so I really hope you're in the mood." On August 3rd, 2006, Alex Blum drove Summer to the Bank of America in Tacoma, Washington, for what the 2 Rangers referred to as close tactical recon. Summer scoped his target where he had a checking account. He surveyed the room, and then he spotted it, a 2-foot space between the top of the bandit barrier and the ceiling. Back at the barracks, he mapped out distances to and from the bank using Google Earth, and spent hours studying news articles about robberies, learning from the mistakes of less careful robbers. By Sunday, August 6th, Robertson and Dunmall had arrived by bus from Canada. Summer led them along with Ranger
Imagine if all potential bank robbers were as switched on as this. You know, rather than just having a stocking on their head and a banana in their hand.
Yeah, actually plan it properly.
Well, that's the difference between military and street villain, innit?
Yeah.
So I think the military precision goes into it, what they've been trained to do. This is how we're going to do it. They look at it as a task, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, plan it properly.
Yeah.
See the task through.
Be scary if all criminals were like that, though, wouldn't it? Because they'd actually get it done.
Just a bit.
Probably the thing is, you're always going to get that guy who wants to imitate them, though.
True.
There are a lot of criminals like this who do it, they just don't get caught.
Yeah.
So you don't know about them.
True.
Chad Palmer to Noble Hill, the 400-foot mountain that rises behind the Ranger barracks. He laid out sandbags and stuck sticks into the dirt to mark the bank's floor plan and the building's exact distance from the alley where Blum, who'd agreed to be the driver, would park his car. Then the 4 men ran the distance in full gear, armor, and weapons. They rehearsed every step over and over again. Who would stand where and for how long? Summer's squad was ready for the mission. On the early evening of August 7th, Robertson handed out the weapons. The 2 AK-47s for Palmer and Dunmall, a 9mm Glock pistol with a red dot for Summer, and a spring-filled 9mm for himself. Dunmall tossed a bag with several hundred rounds of ammunition over his shoulder. They grabbed frag grenades, flashbangs, suited up in body armor, and piled in Alex Blum's vehicle. With Alex Blum behind the wheel, the 4 men arrived at Bank of America branch in South Tacoma at 5:14 p.m. They entered the bank at 5:15 and the robbery began. Palmer and Dunmall with automatic weapons covered the bank's entrance, while the other 2 with handguns moved swiftly to confront the tellers. As the robbery commenced, the countdown began. One of the door guards began to call out the elapsed time like something straight out of a fucking movie. Summer vaulted over the teller counter and barged behind the bandit barrier into the cages, ordering the tellers to only hand over stacks of bandit 20s, 50s, and $100 bills, and gave further orders not to include any bait money with pre-recorded serial numbers or die packs. His assistant collected the money from the teller station and took $20,000 from a money cart inside the vault. At the 2-minute mark, the timekeeper shouted, "Let's go." The 4 men exited the bank with $54,011. They slipped through the back door, successfully robbing the bank in just 2 minutes and 21 seconds. But things almost took a major shit. As the men ran down a side street into an alley, the getaway car wasn't there. The driver had panicked and started driving back to the base. He realized he was going the opposite direction of the base and made a U-turn. With rifles and duffel bags in hand, the men saw him make the U-turn and assumed he must have been driving down the street to turn around to catch up to his fellow bank robbers. The 3 men ran to the car and made their getaway. The driver, Alex Blum, played it off like he was in fact making a U-turn and not fleeing the crime scene. Blum.
You got one job.
Wow.
Yep.
Be the driver. No, wait. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is.
I know, yeah.
Did you
But
panic?
don't do the dirty on the guys that are robbing the bank either.
Might have seen the police go past.
Maybe, yeah.
Something like that, or
Yeah.
a close vicinity, or heard something, or he's been bugged out by something, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's bottled it.
as you're getting out of the car, I'd be like, right, you wait here. Just grab the keys off him. Go rob the bank with the keys.
Well, so you've got to be mindful of who you're leaving behind there, haven't you?
Yeah,
You know, it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, if they get
Big
away and
call.
just disappear, you're done for.
Yep.
Aren't you?
Yeah,
They're coming for you.
Yeah.
Blum dropped Palmer, Robertson, and Dunmall off at a movie theater where they laid low in a darkened theater, eating popcorn, watching a horror movie. Much tactics, many operator. Blum and Summer then headed back to the base, ditched their gear in Summer's room. Blum flew home to Denver the next morning. Summer, Robertson, and Dunmall busted back to Canada. FBI Special Agent Monte Shade arrived at 5813 South Tacoma Way a little after 5:30 p.m., only 15 minutes after the robbery occurred. The parking lot was already full of Tacoma's White Crown Victoria police cars. In his 8 years with the FBI's Pierce County Violent Crimes Task Force, Shade had investigated nearly 400 bank robberies. Most were easy to solve, the majority being crackheads trying to get their fix and get some crack. Right away, Shade knew this one was different. 4 young men, maybe aged 19 to 21, 2 with rifles, 2 with pistols. Then Shade, who'd also spent 8 years on a SWAT team, reviewed the security footage and noticed these guys were definitely using close quarter battle tactics. He noticed how the 2 men holding the door did a great job in their sector, which is their AOR, or Area of Responsibility. Special Agent Shade also took note of how one robber went flying onto the counter, grabbing the top of the 8-foot bandit barrier with one hand and vaulting himself over to the other side, a move that requires some form of athleticism. At the bank, a witness came forward who took down the license plate of the vehicle. These idiots left the front license plate on Blum's vehicle. After running the plate, the RO came back to a Norm and Alex Blum of Greenwood Village in Denver. Reviewing the close quarter battle tactics on the security video, Special Agent Shade suspected a military connection. He drove to Fort Lewis the next day and asked the Provost Marshal if a Norm or Alex Blum was a soldier there. The inquiry brought him to the barracks building 3475. Most of the Rangers had cleared out for a 2-week leave, but Shade pressed a few stragglers who admitted seeing Blum, Palmer, and Summer with a large amount of cash the night before. One
Schoolboy era.
License plate.
It's really,
Jesus
isn't it?
Christ.
You know, why? So that was his own car as well.
Yeah.
Must have been, mustn't it?
Yeah, it was his parents' car by the sounds of it.
Ah, right,
Yeah.
okay.
All that training, all that experience and everything, and you go and do something as stupid
You
as
kind
that.
of want to fit in, hoping that no one spots the car. Is what you're thinking, probably.
Yeah.
Just use a regular car that's not going to get pulled up.
But go and buy
Yeah, I
a,
guess so, yeah.
go and buy a car cash off someone a couple of states over, that's advertising like a car, just a very generic one.
False plates on it, or something like that. Do something,
Yeah.
you know.
Just anything, burn it out once you're done and
Yeah.
just be done with it.
Mm.
Your own car.
I know.
Yeah, it's,
Unless the cops turn up and you're tied up at home, then there's no,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's not anyone else, is it?
Bad mistake.
One by one, the robbers got picked up by authorities. The FBI nabbed Alex Blum in Denver, Chad Palmer in full dress uniform, as him and his family were leaving their house in Chesapeake for family pictures when a SWAT team swarmed in. Nathan Dunmall was arrested in British Columbia. Robertson surrendered at the Canadian-American border. And as for Summer in Peachland, he was quoted as saying, "My fucking dad turned me in." On December 15th, 2008, Summer was sentenced to 24 years in prison and 5 years of supervised release for conspiracy to commit armed bank robbery, brandishing a firearm during and in relation to a violent crime, and possession of an unregistered destructive device, aka a fucking grenade. Summer was also sentenced to an additional 20 years in prison on March 8th, 2010 for assaulting a co-defendant and plotting to kill a federal prosecutor. All of the other defendants in the case entered guilty pleas in 2006. Chad Palmer was sentenced to 11 years in prison. Tigra Robertson was sentenced to 12.5 years in prison. Alex Blum was sentenced on March 6, 2009 for a total of 16 months after he Tekashi 6ix9'd everyone else involved. Nathan Dunmall was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Scott Byrne, who assisted in planning the heist, was sentenced to 8 months in prison. Thank fucking God the situation didn't turn into a fire.
What does that mean? I mean,
Grassed on him.
grass on him.
Firefight with law enforcement. Summer claims he did the robbery to bring attention to war crimes and other allegations involving Task Force 626. But it
Of course
was
he
later
did.
revealed that the money stolen was intended to create a motorcycle gang that would rival the motorcycle gangs controlling crime in fucking Canada. It's fucking stupid. This guy's an idiot. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like my historical crime breakdowns, be sure to check out my Norco shootout. I also have my Dorner video, and there's a lot more of these to come. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss them.
Nice.
Yeah, good one.
It's
What
just-
possessed him to do that? Absolutely crazy.
Money.
But again, you look at it, the guy who's investigating it recognised it straight away. That he had military training, sort of thing. The way he picks up on small things.
Yeah.
Investigators are not idiots.
No.
Really not. You see stuff all the time.
Yeah, like I say, he saw it straight away, didn't he? So did the right thing, went to the base, and
You've got a bloody registration number for a car.
It might have made it more difficult if they didn't have that.
Yeah, but then the investigator may have still figured out, especially if 3 of the guys have been seen at the barracks with loads of money.
But it's proven at the scene, isn't it?
But
true, yeah.
even that's enough of a link, where they're military guys. You go to all the barracks within a certain distance. Anyone been a bit flash recently? And new cars appeared.
Yeah,
oh, these guys had tons of
the
cash.
military, where do you get this $10,000 from in cash?
Yeah.
But the driver grassed them up, eh?
Yeah,
He
not a
obviously-
great move.
He obviously wasn't.
He was the one that got him caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He obviously wasn't a team player anyway, was he? If he
No.
drove off and he was going to leave him. Or maybe that's what he said to reduce his sentence.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah,
made
maybe
himself
bottled it.
out to be like,
I decided not to go ahead with it, so I was just driving
But
away.
really, he was just turning around to get the better angle to get away.
Maybe he was. Yeah.
That's. I mean, he's played it. He's played it well if that's the case. Because what did he get? 10 months or 8 months? Or
Yeah, 8 months. Wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
6 or 8. One got 6, one got 8.
Yeah.
Didn't it? Something like
I
that.
think one got 16 months.
Probably not serving a full sentence either.
Yeah, probably half of that maybe, and then just out and then keep your head down for a few years.
10 grand in his pocket.
Hey, yeah.
Was there 6 of them involved?
One
5
of them
or
was
6?
planning
It's
it. One
five,
of
was
them
it?
planning it never went, did he? There was 3 in the bank and one on the driver, wasn't it?
10 grand each.
Yeah.
Did they
that.
say 3 people approached the car as he was drove back up?
Yeah, yeah, he
He
did.
did actually, yeah, you're right.
10
Yeah.
grand each for that. And you've thrown away that much of your life, the ones that got the severe sentences.
Yeah.
For 10 grand.
Not worth it, is
That's
it?
the point, eh?
Idiots. Absolute idiots.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.